Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog. So today we have the Hyundai i20, the most awaited car of the year. So before moving on to the next one, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing. So this car comes to the courtesy of Star Hyundai, which is here in Mysore. So if anyone's looking to buy a new Hyundai, please do go visit them. I have left a link in the description for their address and contact number. So this car is available in three engine options, which is 1.2 liter petrol engine which produces 83 bhp, and other one is 1.5 liter diesel engine, and this is 1.0 liter turbo petrol engine which produces 120 bhp and 172 Nm of torque, which makes this car the most powerful car in this segment. So talking about the design of this vehicle, even at the first glance, it's clear this all new third generation i20 pushes the boundaries of design, I can say, much further than the Audi like earlier one. Up front, the frameless grille looks extremely sporty, and this car has functional air scoops which draws out the air to keep the engines cool, which is really cool. So you have this frameless grille looks extremely sporty and forms the focus of design. The bonnet line curves down to meet its their sharp cut headlights, and there it's a bit of chin spoiler too. The wedge-like detailing inside the grille stands out. Even in the black Hyundai's red turbo badge gets your attention and low down the chin. So moving on to the tire section, it has this beautiful 16-inch diamond cut alloys which are wrapped up in 185/55 R16. So you do have the separate light for it, just below the mirror, and you get the DCT badge on the side. So this car is full of interesting cuts and creases. Even the fenders and the doors are heavily sculpted. The black cladding carries on all the way to the rear wheels. You have 170 mm of ground clearance, and this is the only car in its class to get a two-tone roof, and there's an interesting chrome strip here with kick up to accentuate the tip forward stance. Of course, you can't forget this is an i20. There are two badges. Even on the side there's one, and here on the tail lamps. So moving on to the back of the vehicle, and one here on the cladding, and the Similine C-pillar with its chrome and black cladding really does stand out as something very different and unique, and it isn't the only unique bit. Plenty of interesting details around the rear of this vehicle. So these Jeep-shaped LEDs make it look unique. They have connected the two tail lights with this chrome strip, and at the bottom here you get a bit of diffuser. There's surely no mistaking this car for anything else. What do you think of the back design of the i20? Please let me know in the comments. So now let's open the boot. So all I have to do is just press a button and it whirls up automatically to the up. So bumping up to the sensibly quotient for the family is a 311 liter boot space. That's an added 26 liters of space for your luggage. A boot lamp is neatly touched. However, skipping 60-40 split seats seems like an oversight. So now let's get inside the passenger side of the vehicle. So as you can see, it's a single tone design, completely black, which matches the complete interiors. There is no dual tone interiors, I can say. So getting up and getting down is really easy. There is you can see there's like 5 to 6 lines which completely goes all the way to the driver side interiors. And you do get the vanity mirrors on the passenger side, but not on the driver side. You can see these lines which completely just goes up just like the Ertiga's design, I can say. It's very unique and it's very nice. So you do get the glove box with the cooled option. So if you want to keep some of your stuff over there, it can be cooled inside. So now let's get inside the driver side of the vehicle. You do have the same design as the other door, just like a single black tone, and you do get some buttons for the automatic ORVMs and for the power windows, which is really good design. You do have some kind of a silver kind of finish for the door and the handles. What's brilliant is you do have the ambient lighting for this vehicle, which is really amazing. You can see the lights over there. At night this car looks really amazing inside. So like I said, getting in and out of the cabin of the i20 is really easy. Elders in the family shouldn't have an issue either. Setting up a comfortable driving position is made easy by tilt and telescopic adjust for the steering wheel, which is directly borrowed from the Hyundai Creta. You would have no complaints with respect to seating comfort. Here either side blasted hole plus size frames well. Cabin width is up, front feels adequate too. However, those above 6 feet tall might find headroom to be average even with the seat pushed all the way down. As you can see, the instrumental cluster is completely similar to the Hyundai's Verna. So you do have the buttons for the traction control and the view button for the camera and the headlight level as well. So the steering feels very nice to hold. It has good amount of grip in it, I can say, and it is completely wrapped up in leather for Asta and Asta optional variants. So on the right side of the steering wheel you have the controls for the headlights, as well as on the left side of the steering wheel you have the controls for the rear wipers and the front wipers. So it does have the digital tachometer as well as the digital speedometer. It's really precise, it's not like lagging or anything. It's very nice, I can say. So on the right side of the steering wheel you have the the start and stop button. Like I said, you have the controls for the automatic headlamps and for the fog lamps as well. I really like the instrument cluster very much. It has a lot of options it can offer. So moving on to the center, you have this beautifully designed automatic control unit. It does have the separate screens for it. It has this kind of aircraft design for the temperature and for the fan speed unit, which is really beautiful. So moving on to the top of the vehicle, you have in the center you have two AC vents which completely matches up with the other two, and you have the center hazard lighting as well. So moving on to the infotainment system, now you now get this big 10.25-inch infotainment system which is completely huge in size. I don't know how it's looking on the video, but when you see it in real life, it is really big enough, I can say. And at this segment, this vehicle has the complete big infotainment system screen. It does have the Bluelink connectivity for Hyundai customers, and it does have the Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, FM, and a lot of other options it has. I really like the Hyundai's options in this infotainment and in the instrumental panel. They give a lot of stuff inside. There is a lot of options you can choose with. I spent like 10 to 15 minutes just browsing on the infotainment. I could find a lot of systems, and like other infotainment system, this car does not have any kind of laggy or anything. It is really very responsive to the touch you give, just like the smartphones. And what can I say, it's very beautiful what Hyundai has been designing their new vehicles. So on the top you have the controls for the SOS button and for the towing, which for the Bluelink connectivity. So on the top you do have the document holder for the passenger, for the driver side. So in the center you have the sunglasses, and you have the some lights to keep for. But this car misses the sunroof because this is just Asta variant, but Asta optional gets the sunroof as well. So this car actually has the wireless charging with inbuilt 12-volt charger to charge your phones and laptops. So moving on to the center, this car uses a 7-speed DCT automatic transmission. So Hyundai claims a 0 to 100 time of just 9.9 seconds, which should make this car faster than the new Polo GT TSI. The storage spaces are apparently with the bottle holders in the door, a chilled glow box, and some more space in the center console. However, like the venue, an air purifier gobbles up a very useful cup holder, but you're likely to not mind considering it's among the segment first features that the new i20 packs in. So in the center you do have the armrest, which is completely adjustable, and some space inside to keep some of your stuff. So moving on to the back seat is extremely spacious. It's also very comfortable. There's plenty of room for your legs and nice support for this long seat, and the backrest is reclined beautifully. In fact, with this elbow rest here and nicely visibility, it's difficult to believe you're sitting in just a hatchback. The seat is placed a bit low, and the door pockets at the rear aren't too large, but there are a few interesting details like the scooped out section here to give you plenty of headroom. There's vents in the back here to have a USB charger, a little tray to keep your phone. So now let's drive the new i20 and see how the car drives like. So driving the 2020 i20 now, this car is actually built on Hyundai's new K platform that uses plenty of high strength steel. The new i20 is approximately 100 kilos lighter than before, and to get behind the wheel, and you can tell almost immediately, it feels much more secure, more agile, more comfortable, and clearly improved. There's a sharpness here that's quite impressive. The ride is more absorbent. It doesn't turn through bigger holes, and although there's a bit of stiffness, it could manifest itself on sharper bumps. Ride in general, even on the bad roads, is pretty impressive. It also feels effortless from behind the wheel. The new i20 is light and easy to drive. The steering is beautifully accurate and it requires very little effort. It's got a nice oily smooth feel about it, and even the clutch is so accurate in the manual gearbox. It's easy to use. Slot instability at speed is good too. Overall, there's an extremely modern feel in the way the new i20 drives. It feels a bit more comfortable and confident at So the Hyundai i20 is now available in three engine options, which is a two petrol and one diesel. So this car actually I'm driving now is 1.2 liter petrol engine which produces 83 bhp, and another one is 1.0 liter turbo petrol which produces 120 bhp. And I can say it's the one of the most powerful hatchback in this segment, and it does 0 to 100 acceleration in just under than 9.9 seconds, which makes this car the fastest than the Polo GT TSI. And there is one more engine option which is available is 1.5 liter diesel engine which produces 100 bhp. So I actually did a 0 to 100 acceleration in this vehicle. This is a 1.2 liter petrol engine. I couldn't get more space, so I couldn't like get the chance to floor it. It took somewhere around 13 to 14 seconds, but it's not accurate, I can say. So now let's see the visual of it. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, share, and don't forget to subscribe.